the lengths that they're going to stop this protest from happening are indicative of how much they don't want any of this change to occur.
Coming up on Live at 6, a Citrus TV exclusive. A member of Not Again SU opens up as the movement prepares for a meeting with the administration, what they are willing to negotiate on.
We were told that the SU Florence campus was being shut down, classes were canceled for the foreseeable future. We're not really sure when they're going to start back up. We don't really know if they're going to be online. We don't know if they're going to be at Syracuse. We don't really know anything.
Students are looking for answers tonight as the SU Florence program shuts down what the administration is going to do to get them home before the coronavirus spreads in the city, and how other abroad programs in Europe are handling the outbreak. Next.
Plus, grad students strike as the Not Again SU movement reaches their 8th day occupying Crouse-Hinds Hall. We have the latest updates live from the building. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Syracuse Abroad has suspended the Florence program after a confirmed case of the coronavirus in the city. Good evening, I'm Nicole Weaving.
And I'm Katie Lane. This move comes after over 300 cases have been confirmed in Italy. The SU Florence program currently has 342 students. Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury is in Europe with what that means there for students.
What we know right now is that students have till Sunday to leave Italy. They were told that tonight at a Q&A session, and now at that Q&A session there were many questions and many remain unanswered, but what we do know is that there's a lot of frustrated students.
There were tears coming, people were crying, and some people were just in complete total shock, some people were angry, there was a lot of questions being asked. It was a little chaotic, or to say the least, but yeah, that from then on, it just kind of became this matter of how are we going to get out of here? What does this mean for reimbursement and credits? Can I still stay in Europe? All these questions were being asked. So it's just a very chaotic atmosphere once the suspension was finally announced.
Yeah, so at first it was just a lot of shock. Like it was just like quiet. Like it kind of sounded like you just like walked into like a silent room, and then like people were finally starting to ask questions once they told us the news. And then, like, emotions started flowing. People started getting angry, like, just talking. And then people were starting to cry, calling their parents, and just, like, letting them know about the situation. And everyone was just kind of like, holy God, like, this semester's over now, and we don't know exactly what to do. And, like, parents are freaking out. And it was just, like, I think a lot of it just started building on itself because we didn't know, like, how we're going to get home. So, like, that became a big fear. Like, all of a sudden, like, are we going to be stuck here? With like it's now starting to pop up, or like are we gonna be able to leave the country, and how is everything gonna go? But there was a lot of like sadness, like once it hit that it was like it's over.
Now, as for those students getting home, they are currently working with a travel agency to get them home as soon as possible. Meanwhile, here in Spain, SU Madrid said students should avoid traveling to Italy. Right now, there is one confirmed case in mainland Spain, that being reported this afternoon in Barcelona. However, SU Madrid said classes are operating as usual. Reporting from Madrid, Spain, I'm Greg Bradbury, Citrus TV News.
Thank you, Greg. SU Florence students have been told that depending on their program, students will have the ability to finish their semester either online or on campus. SU is going to pay for flights for students returning home and provide housing for those returning to campus. Online classes are set to resume March 16th, and classes on Syracuse University will resume on March 23rd after spring break. And this just in, the first case of coronavirus has been confirmed in Madrid. It is a 24-year-old man who is visiting the northern part of Italy. Citrus TV News will continue to monitor the situation as it develops.
Not Again SU is on their 8th day of occupying Crouse-Hinds Hall. We are bringing you team coverage on the protests tonight. We have our Ricky Sayer in studio to tell us about an exclusive interview with a protester, and Josh Myers breaks down the movement's latest demands.
And London correspondent Rob Flax reports from the Faraday House to tell us how students abroad are impacted by the protests. But first, we go to Crouse-Hinds Hall, where our Liam Crowley is live with the latest.
Thanks, Katie. We are currently in day 8 of the Crouse-Hinds sit-in protest, but as you can see behind me, that sit-in has now taken place and expanded to outside. Protesters are still awaiting confirmation from Chancellor Kent Severud as to who was blocking food and medical supplies from getting into Crouse-Hinds. Now, Kent Severud promised students that they would get a response this weekend, then changed that to Monday, and as of right now, we still have no word. Around 3 hours ago on the Not Again SU Instagram, they posted an image that said, Kent stated he would address us on Monday to tell us who made the decision to withhold food, medical supplies, and personal items. That Chancellor Kent Severud has yet to respond to who has been withholding this food and medical supplies from the protesters, and he has yet to make a comment on their Instagram post. Now, as you can see behind me, grad students have also joined in on the protest at Crouse-Hinds. They are demonstrating outside of the building. People around Waverly earlier today could hear these protesters protesting.
Grads on strike! 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 Grads on strike!
Now, as you can see behind me, protesters are still demonstrating outside of Crouse-Hinds. They have been chanting for majority of today, starting around 5 o'clock, not the majority of today, but for about an hour now, and have continued past the 6 o'clock that they expected to wrap up at. Protesters include grad students who are also teaching assistants, and those teaching assistants, some of them have even canceled their classes today in order to protest, and even have encouraged their own students to join in on the protest. Live outside Crouse-Hinds Hall, Liam Crowley, Citrus TV News.
Thank you, Liam. And new details on Not Again SU's list of demands. The organization is posting new demands in response to how DPS officers treated protesters last week. Citrus TV reporter Josh Myers is in the studio to break down the new demands. Josh?
Well, Katie, last night, Not Again SU released an official negotiation document on Instagram as an offer to begin talks with the SU administration. The document expands on the movement's original demands from last fall and includes some new demands made during the Crouse-Hinds sit-in. Section 5 of the document covers 10 new demands in response to DPS treatment of protesters in Crouse-Hinds. Not Again demands include a formal and a public apology addressing the alleged refusal of food and medical and hygiene supplies during a 15-hour period spanning February 17th and 18th when the building was locked down. They're also asking for the campus disruption policy to be suspended in the case of peaceful campus protests, citing a 2015 statement from the chancellor promoting free speech in public spaces on campus. But the biggest request, a meeting with the Board of Trustees and Legal Counsel before the end of March to sign off on a concrete timeline for the implementation of each of the 30-plus demands. Not Again SU is hoping to begin negotiations at 4 p.m. on Wednesday with SU senior administration and trustees. Citrus TV will keep you updated on the latest from those talks. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. And Citrus TV had an exclusive interview with one of the protesters to learn more about the state of their movement. Citrus TV reporter Ricky Sayer is here at the desk to give us a preview of tomorrow's negotiations.
Yeah, as we near those negotiations between Syracuse University and the Not Again SU protesters, if they are actually to happen, we did get the chance to talk to those protesters to find out what could happen in those negotiations. The protesters say that they hope to have some type of a resolution soon, but if it goes into spring break, they say that they will stay there. Now, in this interview, they did ask to remain faceless and nameless to protect their own safety.
I started off this occupation with a lot more hope than I have right now. And that doesn't mean that my resolve has changed at all. I'm dedicated to being here until they make the changes that they committed to. However, the way that the university has acted and is continuing to act is very alarming, and the lengths that they're going to stop this protest from happening are indicative of how much they don't want any of this change to occur. So I feel like it could take a while.
And is it still by getting each one of those 24 demands, or are you open to compromise as you somewhat were on Tuesday night with
So, like, as demonstrated by that specific instance, we are willing to negotiate certain things, and we have been very accommodating of the university and their unmovingness and unwillingness to change anything. But we are going to continue to push without negotiation for some things that just aren't acceptable and are harming students, and other things are negotiable. In one instance of things that aren't negotiable is the DPS code of conduct being made public and their operating procedures being made public. That's currently not the case. And that makes it very difficult when people like John Sardino assault students and assault faculty, and we don't know what their operating procedures are.
Over the past few days, we've seen parents come by. How have they made a difference?
It's very clear that the administration does not care about what the students are saying, does not care about the student feelings, and it's never been more clear than them denying us food and medical access and basic human rights. So we figured that in an effort to change tactics, it would be very powerful for the parents to be here and to directly address the people that are withholding basic human rights from their children while they are making bursar payments to the school.
So yeah, these protesters, they're hoping for a resolution, but not sure they'll get one anytime soon.
Well, thank you, Ricky. As students continue to protest here on campus, several other communities related to the school also feel an impact. We now go to London correspondent Rob Flax at the Faraday House, where the SU London Center is located. Rob, how are students at SU London responding to the protests here on campus?
That's right, guys. I'm standing here in the Syracuse London Faraday House, where earlier today in this very room there was a meeting to address the recent events that had been taking place on campus with regard to the #NotAgainSU protest. Students saying how disappointed they were with administration and the temporary suspensions that they were handed out. A lot of kids say that if they weren't here abroad in London, they probably would have been some of those students who got those suspensions. They would have been part of the protest themselves, really saying how upset they were with how administration has been handling this entire situation.
And Rob, how can students who experience bias incidents abroad report them?
That's right, guys. So if someone at the SU London program wants to report a bias-based incident, it's the exact same process as what people on main campus have to do. It's the exact same portal, and that's something that they implemented and sent out in an email to students earlier this week. However, the difference is with the disclosure, because bias-based incidents do not rise to the level of crimes. Under the Clery Act, the school does not have to disclose it, and at the moment there's no way to find out the total amount of bias-based incidents that have taken place on this campus or any abroad campus for that.
Now, Rob, does the administration at SU London say they have received communication from main campus regarding involvement?
That's right, guys. The biggest thing is with the communication or lack thereof from main campus. In fact, only a few administrators even were receiving Ken Siverett's emails throughout last semester and going into this one. And for that reason, they've been trying to rectify it, making sure that the Syracuse program itself is sending those emails both to students and having meetings with faculty just to make sure that no one is caught off guard if someone makes a remark in class or discussions need to be held on it. They're taking it into their own hands and making sure people know what's going on in the main campus.
Thank you for that report from London, Rob. Coming up, social fraternity Sigma Chi is now under investigative status. What the Sigma Chi International Fraternity told CitrusTV, plus what other fraternities on campus are also under investigation.
And as the sun continues to shine in Syracuse, our weather anchor Michaela Varvis gives us a look at what's to come. Stay with us.
They took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Social fraternity Sigma Chi is now under investigative status, according to the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Affairs website. Currently, there are 3 other Greek life organizations under investigative status, including Lambda Chi Alpha, Phi Delta Theta, and Zeta Beta Tau.
Also listed on the website are Lambda Pi Chi, which is under disciplinary reprimand, Delta Kappa Epsilon, which is under disciplinary probation, and Alpha Chi Rho, which is suspended.
The Sigma Chi International Fraternity tells CitrusTV that it is taking all allegations seriously. Their statement says they have placed the chapter on interim suspension pending an investigation.
Now, Katie, it honestly feels a little weird to be seeing grass and so much sun this early on into February.
I know. Today it was a little cloudier today, but I'm wondering what it's looking like right now. Michaela, can you give us a little glimpse as to what it is right now?
You guys are right. Yesterday was beautiful, warm, sunny. Everyone was out on the quad, but today we are back to cloudy and gloomy Syracuse. It is currently 42 degrees outside. There were light scattered showers throughout the day, but I recommend getting inside soon because the showers are going to pick up a little bit later tonight.
Thanks so much, Michaela. Happening right now, the Fall College is continuing its Ann Selkowitz Lit Distinguished Speaker Series with Olympian dietitian Rob Skinner tonight. Skinner will discuss his role preparing American athletes for the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo, Japan.
The Lit Speaker Series is named for Falk alumna Ann Selkowitz Lit, who was the nutritionist in the NFL and served as the spokeswoman for the Got Milk campaign.
The Maxwell School's Moynihan Institute for Global Affairs will be screening the Peruvian thriller Magallanes. The movie's director and lead actor Salvador del Solar is a former prime minister of Peru whose term ended in September.
He is also an alum of the Maxwell School, completing a master's degree in international relations in 2002. The screening will be held in Eggers Hall, room 341.
The Office of Health and Wellness is partnering up with the local nonprofit Reach CNY to present the Joy for Toys. The event is part of the office's Sexual Health Awareness Month program and will teach attendees how to properly use sex toys.
Joys of Toys will take place in the Barnes Center at the Arch. This will be the last event in February for the program, which concludes with a keynote address on Monday. Syracuse University and the Syracuse City School District are facing a new lawsuit from a Central New York doctor. Dr. Robert Drugger is accusing the university and city schools of harboring an abusive coaching assistant in the 80s. Former SU coaching assistant Conrad Mainwaring is facing allegations of sexual abuse.
An in-depth ESPN investigation claims that Mainwaring sexually abused dozens of male athletes. As of today, Mainwaring is due back in court to answer for further allegations of molestation at a local Syracuse high school. The claims against Mainwaring are still under investigation.
Coming up, Disney CEO Bob Iger steps down as leader of the company after 15 years. What his new role will be and who his replacement is.
And Governor Cuomo is looking to make sure every New Yorker is counted in the 2020 census. Find out what new measures he is taking next on Live at 6.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Hey,
from the CitrusTV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Here we're looking at central New York current temperatures. What we're seeing is pretty mild here, high 30s to mid 40s. Warmest here in Binghamton with 44 degrees and the coldest in Rochester with 32 degrees. Syracuse is currently 42 degrees outside. Tonight, temperatures are going to drop down to 38 degrees and the rain showers, will pick up to a 65% chance. And looking forward to tomorrow, as we rise through the day, there's going to be scattered showers, warming up in the morning with starting out with 37 degrees, warming up in the afternoon to 44 degrees. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, we're starting the week off with some rain and a mix of rain and snow today and tomorrow. Going into Thursday, temperatures begin to drop and we see a bit of snow, but not much accumulation at first. Friday snowfall around 1 to 3 inches, and Saturday 1 inch expected with lower temperatures.
Thank you, Michaela. Governor Cuomo is dishing out another $5 million to help make sure every New Yorker is counted in the 2020 census. The announcement came this morning at a breakfast with interfaith nonprofit leaders. Cuomo is reaching out to different groups with different audiences to emphasize the impact of federal resources on their communities, including representation on the federal level without having elected officials in Washington.
We would like to get your organizations involved in actually providing the service in your community if you want to, because different religions, different faiths, you're all social action organizations, right? That's what we all are at the end of the day. And working with government, I believe you can perform your mission even better and fuller and more robust.
After 15 years, Bob Iger is stepping down as the CEO of Disney. The company announced the move in a press release just a few hours ago. The announcement says this change is effective immediately. Iger will stay on as the executive chairman through December 2021, and Bob Chapek will take on the CEO role.
Well, Nicole, you'll be happy to hear that Syracuse lacrosse is balling. Coming up in sports, we've got highlights from yesterday's Central New York showdown in the Dome. Plus, both the men's and women's lacrosse teams are rolling in awards. I'll tell you what they won after the break.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Syracuse men's lacrosse picked up a huge win over number 9 Army in the Dome over the weekend, and their stars from that game have earned more than just a big dub. Drake Porter has been named ACC Defensive Player of the Week. He made a career-high 18 saves for the Orange to protect a 9-7 victory over the Black Knights. Jamie Trimboli was SU's other cornerstone, and his career-high 5 goals earned him a spot on the USILA's Team of the Week. The Orange returned to action on Friday against Hobart. And Syracuse women's lacrosse also picked up a ranked win over the weekend. They beat 6th-ranked Northwestern 16-11 on the road. The Orange were rewarded with a quick turnaround as they hosted Colgate in the Dome yesterday. And you'd think that the Orange may be in for a letdown game with just 2 days after such a huge win. Well, let's go into the Dome and check out Syracuse, the players warming up for the game, getting their sticks checked, and they would start off a little bit slow for their tastes as Noel Patterson scores a goal here to tie the game at 1 in the first minute, but it'd be all Syracuse after that. Quick passing here to give Megan Carney a goal, streaking toward the net, but Carney wasn't done from there. Here, she gets a little bit more of a traditional goal, takes the pass, sets up, and fires as she gets the goal. She led the Orange with 4 goals and 6 points. 17 on the season. SU was up 13-2 at the half, and this here's a nice moment right here. Danielle Marino, the freshman, with her first career goal with 25 seconds left. SU, that would be the icing on the cake of Syracuse's 21-4 win over Colgate. And the crazy part of these highlights, no mention of Emily Harris-Chuck. The senior attack posted her 5th hat trick of the season. She leads the nation with 30 goals, and her teammate Megan Carney isn't far behind. She's tied for 8th in the nation with 17 goals. But let's not give credit to just the attack. SU was allowed 5 goals per game over their 4-game winning streak. And a big reason why their defense has been so strong is the player that SU surrounded after their win, goalkeeper Asa Goldstock. The senior put the league on notice over the weekend, and her conference did just that. Goldstock was named ACC Defensive Player of the Week after allowing only 13 goals against the Wildcats and Raiders. Goldstock has allowed just over 3 goals per game during SU's winning streak. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Pat. We'll be right back.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Tomorrow morning it's going to be about 37 degrees, so I recommend bringing an umbrella or wearing a hood because there will be chances of precipitation pretty much the entire day.
Thanks, Michaela. I'll make sure to wear my rain boots. That's all the time that we have on Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Nicole Weaving.
And I'm Katie Lane. Have a great night, Syracuse.